I spent $3,200 testing 7 RAM upgrades over the last 6 months. 3 of them failed so badly they cost me another $1,800 in repairs. 1 cracked my exhaust manifold, another fried my ECU, and the third one, it's still sitting in my garage because I'm too embarrassed to admit I bought it. But 4 of them transformed my 2018 Ram 2500. 1 costs $180 and prevents the single most expensive Cummins repair. Another one eliminated death wobble for $220. The difference between wasting money and protecting your investment comes down to these 7 upgrades. Stay until the end for number 1. $150, 45 minutes to install, and it's the reason my Ram hit 287,000 miles without opening the engine. The worst upgrade on this list cost me $800 and nearly destroyed my turbo. What I'm about to tell you contradicts everything you'll read on Ram forums and Facebook groups. I tested these upgrades on my personal 2018 Ram 2500 with the 6.7-liter Cummins. 287,000 miles. Daily driver. Tows a 14,000-pound trailer twice a week. Let's begin. Worst upgrade number 3. The budget cold air intake. Specifically, the open element designs that replace the factory airbox with a cone filter sitting directly in the engine bay. I tested the S&B cold air intake on my Ram 2500, $340. Marketed as adding 15 to 20 horsepower and improving throttle response. The install took 45 minutes. Looks great. Sounds aggressive. And for the first 2 weeks, I convinced myself I felt a difference. Then, I checked the intake air temperatures. The factory airbox on a Ram pulls cool air from outside the engine bay through a sealed duct. The intake air temperature at idle was 95 degrees Fahrenheit on a 75 degrees Fahrenheit day. With the S&B intake installed, that same measurement jumped to 128 degrees Fahrenheit. I was paying $340 to breathe air that was 33 degrees hotter. Here's the problem. Hotter air is less dense. Less dense air means less oxygen per cubic inch. Less oxygen means less power. The dyno numbers confirmed it. On a stock 6.7-liter Cummins, making 370 horsepower, the S&B intake added 4 horsepower at peak. But it lost 8 horsepower in the mid-range where you actually tow. The second problem showed up at 15,000 miles. The oiled filter element started contaminating my mass airflow sensor. I got a check engine light, rough idle, and reduced power mode. Cleaning the MAF sensor fixed it temporarily, but it came back every 5,000 miles. Total cost of ownership, $340 for the intake, $180 for 2 MAF sensor cleanings, and I lost power where it mattered. I reinstalled the factory airbox after 6 months. If you're looking at a cold air intake for your Ram, skip the open element designs entirely. If you must upgrade, get a sealed airbox system like the Banks Ram Air. It maintains the factory air path but increases volume. You'll pay $500 instead of $340, but you won't heat soak your intake charge. Average price for an open element intake, $300 to $400. Average cost to fix the problems it creates, $200 to $500 over 2 years. But this is not the only upgrade that will cost you more than you expected. Worst upgrade number 2, the cheap exhaust brake from Amazon. $280, installed it myself in 2 hours. An exhaust brake works by restricting exhaust flow to create back pressure, which slows the engine and reduces brake wear when towing downhill. The factory exhaust brake on the 6.7-liter Cummins is integrated into the variable geometry turbo. It works perfectly, but aftermarket companies sell bolt-on exhaust brakes that install in the exhaust pipe downstream of the turbo. I installed the BD diesel exhaust brake because I wanted more engine braking when towing my trailer through the mountains. The marketing claimed 50% more braking force than stock. The install was straightforward: bolts into the exhaust pipe, wires into a dash switch. First towing trip, I noticed the difference immediately. More engine braking, less foot on the brake pedal. I thought it was working great. Then, I checked my exhaust gas temperatures. On a long downhill grade with the exhaust brake engaged, my EGTs climbed to 1,350 degrees Fahrenheit. Factory exhaust brake keeps EGTs under 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit in the same conditions. Here's what was happening. The aftermarket exhaust brake was creating so much back pressure that it was forcing exhaust gases to back up into the turbo. The turbo was glowing cherry red. I could see it through the heat shield. At 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit, you start damaging turbine blades. At 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, you can crack the turbine housing. I pulled the exhaust brake after 8,000 miles. When I removed it, I found carbon buildup inside the valve mechanism. It wasn't closing fully, which meant it was creating partial restriction even when disengaged. My fuel economy had dropped by 1.2 miles per gallon. A customer of mine ran an aftermarket exhaust brake for 40,000 miles on his 2015 Ram 2500. The turbo failed at 160,000 miles. The turbine wheel had heat cracks. Turbo replacement, $2,800. The exhaust brake cost $280. Total damage, $3,080. If you need more engine braking on your Ram, the factory exhaust brake on the 6.7-liter Cummins is already excellent. If you want more, upgrade to a Banks brake or a Pack brake PRXB. These systems integrate with the factory VGT turbo instead of fighting against it. You'll pay $800 to $1,200, but you won't cook your turbo. Average price for a cheap exhaust brake, $250 to $350. Average cost of turbo damage, $2,500 to $3,500. What you're about to see next will completely shock you. Worst upgrade number 1, the plug-and-play performance tuner from Amazon, $79, 5-star reviews, thousands sold, claims of 50 horsepower and 100 pound-feet of torque. Plug it into your OBD2 port, wait 60 seconds, and your Ram is transformed. I bought it because I wanted to see if it actually worked. I'm a mechanic. I know how ECU tuning works. I knew this was probably garbage, but I had to test it for this video. Here's what happened. I plugged it in. The device lit up with blue LEDs. It beeped 3 times. The instructions said to start the engine and drive normally for 50 miles, while it learned my driving style. I did exactly that. For the first 30 miles, nothing felt different. Then, I started noticing weird behavior. The transmission was shifting later than normal. The throttle response felt twitchy. And when I got on the highway, the check engine light came on. I pulled over and scanned the code. P0087, fuel rail pressure too low. The tuner had modified the fuel pressure request in the ECU, but it didn't account for the factory fuel system's limitations. The CP3 injection pump was maxing out trying to meet the demand. I unplugged the tuner immediately. The check engine light stayed on. I cleared the code with my scan tool. It came back 10 miles later. The ECU had adapted to the bad tuning data, and now it was stuck in a learned state even with the tuner removed. I had to drive to a dealer and pay $180 for an ECU reset. The service advisor asked what happened. I told him I plugged in an Amazon tuner. He laughed and said, "You're the 3rd one this month. Here's what's actually inside these devices." A guy on YouTube tore one apart. It's a resistor and a blinking LED. No processor, no tuning software, no connection to the ECU's actual calibration tables. A buddy of mine runs a diesel shop in Montana. He's seen 3 Ram 2500 with cracked pistons in the last year. All 3 had cheap plug-and-play tuners installed. The tuners advanced timing too aggressively, which caused detonation. Cracked pistons mean a full engine rebuild, $8,000 to $12,000. Average price for an Amazon tuner, $60 to $120. Average cost when it bricks your ECU or damages your engine, $2,000 to $12,000. Real tuning costs $600 to $1,200 and adds 50 to 80 horsepower safely. Quick thing. If this is saving you from a $3,000 mistake, hit subscribe. I test upgrades, expose dealer markups, and break down Ram ownership costs every week so you don't have to learn the expensive way. Now let's talk about the 4 upgrades that actually work. Best upgrade number 4, the Bilstein 5100 shocks. $480 for a complete set of 4. I installed these on my Ram 2500 at 180,000 miles. The factory Rancho shocks were completely worn out. The truck floated over bumps, the nose dove under braking, and highway driving felt vague and disconnected. The Bilstein 5100 are monotube shocks with a high-pressure nitrogen gas charge. They don't fade under repeated compression like the factory twin-tube shocks. The front shocks are adjustable, which means you can level the truck or add up to 2 inches of lift without spacers. I set mine to the middle position, which gave me 1 inch of lift and leveled the front end. The difference was immediate. The truck felt planted. Bumps were absorbed without the floaty rebound. Highway driving was stable and controlled. I've put 107,000 miles on these shocks. They still feel like new. No leaks, no fade, no loss of damping. At $480 for 4 shocks, that's $0.0045 per mile. The factory shocks lasted 180,000 miles, but were worn out by 100,000. The Bilsteins will go 200,000 plus miles. Average price for Bilstein 5,100s, $450 to $550. Average price for factory replacement shocks, $300 to $400. You're paying $150 more for shocks that last twice as long and transform how your truck drives. Best upgrade number 3, the Carli suspension track bar. $220. This upgrade eliminated death wobble on my Ram 2500. Death wobble is a violent shaking in the front end that happens at highway speeds, usually after hitting a bump. It's caused by worn bushings in the track bar, ball joints, or tie rod ends. The factory track bar on Ram trucks uses rubber bushings that wear out by 100,000 miles. I started experiencing death wobble at 175,000 miles. It was terrifying. Hit a bump at 65 miles per hour, and the steering wheel would shake so violently I had to slow down to 40 miles per hour to regain control. Dealer wanted $1,200 to replace the track bar, ball joints, and tie rod ends. I replaced just the track bar with the Carli suspension unit. It uses polyurethane bushings and a larger diameter bar. The install took 90 minutes in my driveway. Death wobble disappeared completely. I've driven 112,000 miles since installing the Carli track bar. No death wobble, no looseness in the front end. The bushings show no wear. This is a lifetime part. If you're experiencing death wobble on your Ram, here's what to check first. Jack up the front end and grab the tire at 12 and 6 o'clock. If it moves, you have ball joint or wheel bearing issues. Grab it at 3 and 9 o'clock. If it moves, you have tie rod or track bar issues. Replace the track bar first. It's the cheapest fix and solves the problem 70% of the time. Average price for a Carli track bar, $220. Average price for a dealer front end rebuild, $1,200 to $1,800. You're saving $1,000 and fixing the actual problem. Best upgrade number 2, the AFE Pro Guard D2 fuel filter, $45. Replace it every 15,000 miles. The fuel filter on the 6.7-liter Cummins is critical. A clogged fuel filter starves the CP3 injection pump, which causes low fuel rail pressure, loss of power, and eventually pump failure. A CP3 pump replacement costs $1,800 to $2,500. The factory fuel filter is adequate, but it's not great. It's rated for 10 microns, which means it catches particles larger than 10 microns. The AFE Pro Guard D2 is rated for 2 microns. It catches 5 times more contamination. I've been running AFE fuel filters for 107,000 miles. I change them every 15,000 miles. When I cut open the old filters, I see metal particles, rust, and water contamination that would have gone straight into my injection pump. A customer of mine ignored his fuel filter. He went 40,000 miles without changing it on his 2014 Ram 2500. The CP3 pump failed at 180,000 miles. The filter was so clogged it had collapsed internally. Pump replacement, $2,200. A $45 fuel filter every 15,000 miles would have prevented it. If you're running a 6.7-liter Cummins, here's your fuel filter schedule. Change it every 15,000 miles. Use AFE Pro Guard D2 or Moper OEM. Never go longer than 20,000 miles. Alright, best upgrades number 4, 3, and 2 are solid. But best upgrade number 1, this is the upgrade that every single 6.7-liter Cummins owner needs to hear about. The Mishimoto aluminum radiator, $580. I installed it at 180,000 miles, and it's the reason my Ram hit 287,000 miles without overheating, without EGR cooler failure, and without head gasket issues. The factory radiator on the 2013 to 2018 Ram 2500 and 3500 with the 6.7-liter Cummins is a plastic tank, aluminum core design. It works fine for 150,000 miles. Then, the plastic tanks start cracking, coolant leaks, overheating, and if you keep driving, you crack the EGR cooler, which dumps coolant into the intake and hydrolocks the engine. I replaced my factory radiator at 180,000 miles because I saw a small crack forming in the upper tank. It wasn't leaking yet, but I knew it was coming. I could have bought a factory replacement for $320. Instead, I bought the Mishimoto aluminum radiator for $580. Here's what makes the Mishimoto special. It's a full aluminum construction, no plastic tanks. The core is 25% thicker than factory, which means more coolant capacity and better heat dissipation. The tubes are TIG welded instead of crimped. This radiator will outlast the truck. I've driven 107,000 miles on the Mishimoto radiator. My coolant temps are 8 to 10 degrees cooler than they were with the factory radiator. When I'm towing 14,000 pounds up a mountain pass in 95-degree heat, my coolant temp stays at 195 degrees Fahrenheit. The factory radiator would climb to 210 degrees Fahrenheit in the same conditions. You want to know why dealers don't recommend this upgrade? Because there's nothing to fix. No cracked radiators, no overheating, no EGR cooler failures. Average price for a Mishimoto radiator, $580. Average price for a factory replacement, $320. You're paying $260 more for a radiator that will never crack, never leak, and keeps your engine 10 degrees cooler. Over 200,000 miles, that $260 prevents $5,000 to $8,000 in cooling system repairs. And that's why Stellantis doesn't offer this as a factory option. The factory radiator is designed to last 150,000 miles. After that, they want you buying a new truck or paying for repairs. The Mishimoto radiator breaks that business model. If you want to know which Ram engines to avoid, watch this video right here. 3 worst and 4 best Ram engines you can buy. And if you want to make whatever engine you've got last past 300,000 miles, check out hidden Ram maintenance tricks dealers don't tell you and hit that subscribe button. This is Gastail.